John Cohen, Deep Meadow Farm, Ascutney, Vermont. Let's say like maybe 2007, 2008, I'm on my way from Westminster up to this area to have pigs processed at Green Mountain Smokehouse. I drive by here all the time and they had a for sale sign. And I'm like, wow, that place is just gorgeous, you know, but I'm sure I could never afford it. In 2010, the person I'm working with through Farm Viability says to me, there's an RFP, request for proposal, for a property up in Wethersfield. Do you want to go look at it? I looked at it. They want $1 million. He says it's not quite how it works. The land trust is now involved. He said you're going to go through the process, you're going to learn, and you're going to start being involved in figuring out, you know, how to do this process. 2023, here we are. All of these different entities got involved. The Vermont Land Trust wants to support bigger endeavors. Hats off to anybody who wants to farm anything they want to farm. But we have to figure out ways to turn more large-scale production models into production if we're ever going to feed ourselves. The organic model is about soil. It's about the sustainability of soil. It's about the health of the soil and health of the planet, health of the people. We now do about almost 50 acres of production. Diversified vegetables. We do a lot of greens for wholesale, quite a bit of root crops. We do about 15 acres of winter squash a year. We have storage capacity so we can carry much later into the season. You know, we shipped, I think last year we shipped on April 10th as our last ship day. We do everything from a farm stand to working with our cooperative, which is Deep Root. We do our own distribution from Hanover down to Greenfield, Mass, from Kearsarge over towards Concord to the Woodstock area. So we run a truck twice a week on peak season. And then we do 3 summer farmers markets, we do 2 winter farmers markets, we do a small CSA, we do an online ordering system, all kinds of stuff. This season, this was 30-something years of farming, I have never seen this much water ever. We lost 5 weeks of growing because of it being wet so much. We couldn't transplant, couldn't spray, couldn't cultivate. Our lower field was under, at the deepest point, probably 2 or so feet of water. Couldn't harvest, had to plow stuff under. We were operating at some point, I think, at about 40% loss. I think we've caught up a little bit on that with, you know, trying to succession plant our way out of it. We're a member of Deep Root. It's a farmer-owned co-op. There are about 24 farmer members. That's our shipping facility. They were under 7 feet of water, the whole building, everything. We lost vehicles, we lost equipment, pallet trucks. So there was a 5-day shipping window, nothing shipped. So even if we had product, we had nowhere to sell it. On, closed down farmers market, people not buying. So it was not only production on the farm, but all of our venues for selling stuff through were also impeded by the weather. And that was our first. I'll give you an example of where I think the problem lies, is that people go, oh, you had a flood. And that's the problem with that is like newsworthy. The issue is ongoing all of the time, and it's in everything that we do. This is the state of things. This is what it's going to look like. So here we are at the end of our season, you know, and kind of waiting for that first frost. We have a few more peppers to pick out of the field, and then I would say anything else left out here is just you know, late season stuff, collards and kales and cabbages, a little bit of Napa, no green cabbages here because of the flooding. You actually look at issues that are hard. It is stressful, it is painful, it is hard to do, to carry it on a regular basis. And then it becomes saturation. You know, it's like, how much of this can I listen to or talk about or, you know, or watch? And it's like, wow, okay, you know, this is enough already. So it's easier not to think about it. And we see that here on the farm, you know. How much can I keep thinking about this flooding this season? I can't. I just have to get to point B and see, are we financially viable, and stop dwelling on it and keep doing what we're doing. Are we wasting our time? I won't know until we get to that point. You know, it looks to me like we will survive this season. But here we are, succession planting of lettuce and last crops. We're gonna get one more harvest out of these fields here, and that's what we do, right? There are lots of ways for, I think, people to do something. What you eat makes a difference. And what you eat makes a difference on how the planet is going to be sustainable. That's the message. You know, it's like what you eat matters, not just because, you know, it's organic, but what you eat because you're supporting an economy. And I think we don't spend enough time talking about the economics of all of this. Regular business, I think most farmers would say that, it's regular business that makes the difference. Buy local, buy from all of us. You know, eat more local food, find ways to, you know, learn to like more vegetables, eat in season. find ways to work with what's available.